Tonight,
we celebrate my brother, Captain Thomas McQueen, as a hero.
family and friends gathered to say their final goodbyes to the pilot, killed near Cold Lake last week. Plus, employment roller coaster. As the energy sector slowly starts to rebound, there's another industry that's facing a downturn of their own. And bracing the cold. What the housing situation is like in the border city for those looking for relief from the frigid temperatures.
This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Friends and family said a final goodbye to Captain Thomas McQueen today. The fighter pilot was killed during a training exercise near Cold Lake last week. This morning, family and friends paid tribute to the 29-year-old at the Canadian Warplane Museum near Hamilton, Ontario. This was where McQueen had his first flight, and today his family said his, quote, final flight. McQueen was killed during a routine training exercise last month when his CF-18 went down near the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. Captain McQueen was born and raised in Fisherville, just outside of Hamilton. His passion was flying until he met Caitlin in Cold Lake, and they were engaged to be married.
We celebrate my brother, Captain Thomas McQueen, as a hero. However, Thomas was an extremely humble person and would not want this day to be all about him. Thomas would want you to remember the 100,000 members of the Canadian Armed Forces who serve our country daily, just as he did for 10 years.
Well, the unemployment rate in Lloydminster has risen in the past 2 years, along with the rest of the prairies, although things have stabilized in recent months. However, while this could lead toward a rebound in the oil industry, construction companies are now faced with a downturn of their own. Josh Ryan reports.
Lloydminster's had a tough 2 years, but there's some optimism heading into the holidays between commerce remaining stable and unemployment no longer rising.
Been able to maintain some of that level of activity above what we may have expected given conditions that we've been experiencing.
According to Stats Canada, which posts unemployment rates by region, both sides of the border city are on a slight decline from October, with the Saskatchewan side dropping by 0.1% and the Alberta side dropping by 0.4%.
Locally, how that's playing out, a little tougher to feel, but starting to hear a little bit of signs about some more hiring and such going on in the community.
While that's good news for most of the city, things are less positive in the construction industry. Cody Bexon of Bexon Construction says they are just starting to take the same hit as other businesses now that projects are wrapping up.
We've done layoffs over the last 2 months, and we'll probably be laying off a few more here coming in the new year.
Bexon says they've been preparing for the situation best they can since the economy began to slow down 2 years ago.
We'll take amount of time for that money to start rolling again and people starting to build. So we're just prepared, and if it takes a year, 2 years for things to get rolling again, we'll be ready when it comes around.
Significant changes to the unemployment rate aren't expected in the next few months, with different factors affecting the number.
If somebody decides to no longer look for work, that's one less job seeker. That actually brings the unemployment number down.
I think the amount of jobs that the oil field will pick up, then the amount that the construction industry will lose will kind of offset itself.
Despite the gloomy forecast for his industry, Bexon says things are finally starting to look brighter in Lloydminster.
There's lots more people being more positive about the future. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, they're starting to say. So that's a great thing, and I think it goes to show that Lloydminster is resilient.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, as the temperature plummets in the border city, the demand for homeless shelters tends to rise. But with Lloydminster's economy the way it is, the amount of available apartments in the city has seen an influx. Gina Martin explains how vacancy rates are helping relieve the stress off of not-for-profits for now.
The Lloydminster's men's shelter was a welcomed escape from the cold this afternoon, opening up earlier than usual.
We've expanded our hours. Normally our residents would come in at 5 o'clock, but during the cold weather we let them come in at 1 in the afternoon instead of 5.
Grace says the shelter is currently at about 2/3 capacity, and though they are starting to see the winter rush, it's not as bad as it could be.
I think it's due to the economy at the time. There's more housing available in town. At one time, Lloydminster's housing rate was at about 0.2%, and now I believe I'm hearing a wide range of vacancy rates that are available.
The Lloydminster Region Housing Group is also seeing that trend. The group provides seniors and families with government-subsidized housing, but it appears they are not the shiniest option for some.
The family units, it has slowed down, and I think partially because the private apartments around town have been lowering their rents to try and attract people, and with ours being geared to income, sometimes it's we're not the cheapest house in town anymore. So.
But there is one program seeing a strong demand called Direct Rent Supplement.
That was to provide a subsidy to people so they could stay in the homes that they're in and basically pay the same rent. So they have to pay 30% of their gross monthly income towards their rent, and then we pick up the balance to a maximum.
But the budget for this project has been maxed out, and LRHG won't be able to process any more applications until a new budget is granted this spring, which could make it difficult as we head deeper into winter.
Just there isn't a great deal of family housing, at least on our side. We've only got 54 units in town, and then we've got 8 in Kitscoty and 1 in McQueen. But that's not very much public family housing for a city this size.
The men's shelter ready to take on the challenge, though, saying if the temperatures drop to -25, they will be open 24 hours to keep people warm. Gina Martin, Newcap News.
Well, it's the experience of a lifetime for one Holy Rosary senior. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we meet this particular student who, after high school, will be making her way to the Sunshine State.
Sadie Rusteika has been a proud Holy Rosary Raider for the past few years. And now, after officially putting it in writing, come fall she will head south to become a Pensacola State Pirate.
I'm pretty excited to go. It's going to be a really great experience, and I like the warm weather, so that'll be great too.
This experience made possible thanks to her athleticism on the diamond.
And I played on a travel team called Canada Futures over the fall, and we played against their junior college team. And the coach liked what she saw, and now I'm going there. We went down in middle of October, end of October, and she talked to me right after our game. So I was pretty nervous going up to her. She called me over, and then we've been emailing and texting ever since then.
Sadie says playing ball at the college level has been on her mind for the past 5 years.
It would be pretty sweet to play college ball, and especially in the States, it's even better. And over the last year or two, it kind of became a reality, and I kind of figured like this actually could happen.
Academically, Sadie says she hopes to study some sciences and take the criminology route while at Pensacola State. But in the meantime, here at home, one thing is for sure, she will be missed.
It's pretty emotional seeing her leave since we've been together with our friends for a while now, but we're so proud of her, and we just hope the best for her and succeed in all her adventures.
I'm just so excited for her. This has been such an important part of her life for so many years, and it's just great to see that she's finally chasing her dreams.
Good luck, and don't forget about us, and we look forward to watching you succeed. We'll follow you online and track your success, so great job.
And as for Sadie's senior year at Holy Rosary,
hoping to make it memorable, I guess, and keep playing ball and play with the team that I'm going to have, that I'm going to miss when I'm gone.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Take charge of your future by building your degree program with Lakeland's University Transfer Program. Classes start in January. Apply today.
A local high school is helping families have a Merry Christmas. Lloyd Comp is currently fundraising for their 19th annual Rudolph's Roundup, with all proceeds going towards the interval home. Students are working hard to reach their $15,000 goal. Jada Jesse has seen firsthand what some families go through.
Close people that I have known struggle through Christmas, that they haven't had very much, and I personally don't like seeing people sad, upset. Everyone deserves to have a Christmas. Everyone deserves to be happy.
The principal of Lloyd Comp says he's proud of what the students have accomplished.
They advocate very well. They become very vocal around it. They get outside of their comfort zone. They go from class to class and speak to why this is an important venture for our school and our community.
The school is currently halfway to reaching their donation goal. You can help out by dropping off donations at the high school's main office until Friday.